Hi, Ben.
Hello, Liz, and hello everyone watching on YouTube.
So, I've now got Ben, and he's a captive audience. So, I've always wanted to do questions for Ben, but we're not just any old questions. Ben has to pick the questions himself, and he doesn't know what they're going to say, and I want his immediate, don't go thinking about it then, answers. Right, ready, go.
I'll do my best. Oh, there's a bag here of...
I'm going to move because the sun is blocking you out.
Okay, right. Now there's a bag
there's Mark in the background.
How many have you written?
I got carried away.
Right.
Not like me, Ben, is it?
If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first?
The facial features are going to be the best.
I don't know, because I can't remember being 5. That's the thing. Well, I'd probably just go and play outside in the garden or something, or climb a climbing frame, or wonder why I looked so different and I had a deep voice and hair all over me where I didn't used to have it, and things like that. But not on my head, of course. Hair everywhere, but not on my head.
That might surprise you then.
It's like the hair's gone from one place and moved to another, you know. It's like, so that's what I'd probably do. I hated it. I was a very miserable child, and so I don't remember much about it. But that's my best answer. Do you want to pick another one?
Ben, this is going on all day, mate.
Here we go.
This takes a while for me to get bored.
All right, then, right. What is the most embarrassing thing you have ever worn? Probably... It was the... Oh, it was the... I put on a green dress once. Now, this is when I was drunk, and I'd been at the social club, and we broke into the linen store. This is at my hospital. And now, you see, in those days, there were very few female porters. Well, in fact, there are still very few female porters. So it's low-paid, unglamorous jobs, dirty, so the feminists don't mind the men doing it. So about 95+% of porters are male. But there was a female porter's uniform that's totally different to the males. The male uniform was like blue shirt, dark blue tie, navy tie, light blue shirt, navy trousers. But there was a female porter's uniform that was literally like a green dress. It was a green, like, nylon dress with pop studs up front. And we broke into the linen store once and put them on for a laugh.
Is there pictures?
No, there's no pictures. I certainly hope not, anyway. Unless someone is keeping them back, and they're going to...
You'd be surprised what I can do.
Blackmail me once to publish them, but
I'm quite good at Photoshop. Ben.
What is that one thing that you enjoyed doing but hated by everyone else? Probably watching the Avengers movie. Not the one with Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman, which the critics all couldn't stand.
I won't get bored.
You're a mad scientist. What scientific experiment would you run if money and ethics weren't an issue? Something to do with the paranormal. I'd put the money into ufology or psychic research, like Bob Bigelow is doing at the moment with his what's it called? BICS. Bigelow Investigation into something study. I can't remember what it's called. Is it BICS? Into psychical studies or afterlife studies or something like that. What is your third favourite planet? Well, my favourite is probably Saturn. That's the coolest. Second favourite, I'm not including Earth, of course. Jupiter. Probably Venus, actually. Well, Venus might go up the table a little bit because they may have found life there, which is quite something in the atmosphere. That's quite something. Okay, and another one.
I'm not getting bored, man.
Will religion ever become obsolete? I think that the institutions we today have in religious circles will eventually... I can't see them lasting when you consider the corruption and crimes that they've created. A belief in God will not go away, no. It's something natural. It's something that it seems the human brain is hardwired for. There'll always be people who believe in God. And indeed, God may well exist. I mean, I don't discount that. So there'll always be spiritual people. There'll always be atheists and materialists and people like that as well. There always has been. They always will. But the institutions of religion, I don't think, are going to last. Hopefully not, anyway. What kind of secret society would you like to start? Probably something related to, maybe little clandestine sect of dreaming sources where...
Would it be in was it not Whoville? That was Dr. Seuss. Wooville.
Wooville, yeah.
Wooville.
Probably the Wooville branch of somebody else. So where whistleblowers could contact us and things like that.
That would be amazing,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
so that we wouldn't discuss that. And
So what's stopping us from doing it then?
nothing. And that's why I'm going to set that up. And I know you're doing the same.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Here we go. Would you rather be able to play every musical instrument or speak every language fluently? Probably language. It'll be the language, because first I can't play any musical instrument. I can sort of speak a couple of languages. I've learned several languages in my life. I'm going to learn Russian actually, because I might have to go and live there at some point.
What?
Yeah, it's it's just
Drop that on us.
just a thing. Well, it's not for about 10 years or more, but if possible, I might have to go and live there. Yeah.
That might need further discussion.
I will
later
do,
on.
give you. If someone was filming your life up to this point, what would be on the soundtrack? Oh, probably, hopefully the KLF.
Oh.
If they allowed it. They actually took everything's in the public domain anyway. Yeah, something by the KLF. Probably I think something like the ambient stuff they did, the chill out album. Who would you get to play as you in the movie of your life? Do you and Steve... Oh, there's two questions here.
Oh yeah, do the second one.
All right. Do you and Steve Mumbling have secret Zoom meetings where you plan your next altercations? No, we don't. I'd love that actually. Steve Mumbling, I was going on and on. He challenged me to a live debate, and I turned him down originally because of his conduct.
We know what he said.
Yeah, and I sort of changed my mind because Colin, the guy who he attacked, didn't seem all that bothered. So I sort of changed my mind. I said, "Okay, Steve, let's have a debate. We'll have a live debate." And he said all this up, and then he suddenly said, "Oh, that could be a bit tricky because I don't know how to contact you." I said, "Email me." He says, "I haven't got an email." What? And so it went on like that.
You YouTube without an email.
As for who would play me,
set it up in 2 seconds.
Exactly. It's obviously an excuse. So I badger him about it, and maybe he'll give in at some point. But I'll debate him anytime. As for who would play me in a movie, probably Al Murray, the pub landlord, because he looks like me. Okay, I'm in the ISIS Tavern here with Liz and Mark, and I'm going to carry on answering questions. So, what's the next one? Let's have a look. And this one is... Liz is a twat. The one was, she had to have her finger over the microphone while we were talking, so if I'm very quiet, well, Liz is going to try and boost the volume. You can actually, what you can do is you can actually boost the volume and then cut it into the... Well, that's not us.
Oh, it's beeping.
Is that us?
I don't know. Do you only get one go? Do you only get one go at it?
Did it make a noise?
Something
What percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Okay, when do you feel that way? How can you feel that way more often? I think I feel truly alive all the time, actually. I really do. I don't ever feel I'm not. I mean, I used to be. I used to have times when I did feel like self-annihilated, as Stefan Molyneux calls it. But those time periods they're behind me now. And how do I don't think I think where do I feel most alive? I think it's when I'm having conversations like these.
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah.
At conferences and
That's
places
why
like
we're
that.
going to try and do it more often, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
If you could make a rule a day and everyone had to follow it, what would it be? All right. Stop using your mobile phone with stupid ringtones on buses. Definitely, that's bloody annoying.
Stop using your phone and asking me stupid questions that I have to pick out of a bag and then bloody put your finger on.
I don't know if I'll get through all these.
I know.
I'll get through as many as
I went a bit
can.
mad in the head.
Do penguins have knees? I don't. Well, I think birds have like a. Birds are a strange thing.
Do any birds have knees?
They have like joints in their legs. I think they have 2 joints in their legs. But penguins obviously have really short legs and they waddle along like that. But penguins.
I don't think any birds have knees, do they?
Not like we do.
Birds
No.
jump along.
Some are bendy.
Yeah. I don't think they have completely straight legs. I don't think any animals have more than one joint. I mean, penguins, you see, flamingos have knees,
Yeah,
and I suppose they must.
And they go the wrong way, don't they?
I think penguins are the same, where their knees are a lot shorter.
I told you some of these questions were philosophical.
That's interesting. Interestingly, birds weird because I did a video you may have seen about where I mentioned it was what's his name. He did a talk about the evolution of birds and about how they just suddenly emerge from
Darwin?
reptiles. Yeah, and so you suddenly get birds like with beaks rather than teeth, and they
I've
have
got
a
to
wishbone.
show you. Have you ever heard of a shoe bill? I seen a video on it yesterday. I've got to show you what a shoe bill sounds like.
It's just these things suddenly emerge, and I think it's a bit weird. Like the wishbone just suddenly emerged out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And things like feathers. Anyway, here we go. What fun activity from your childhood has been completely ruined for kids today? So much.
All of it?
Nearly all of it. All the fun you used to have, like wandering around, just looking for amusement and looking for fun. Some of these things were a bit dangerous, but it was all part of the thrill, and now you can't do it.
Conkers.
Conkers,
They
yeah.
stopped them. They banned that from school.
That's right. Just
Health
because
and
one little
safety.
kid had to go to hospital because he had a little fragment in his eye.
Conkers.
Snowballing. That's
Yeah,
been ruined.
yeah.
You can't do it now because it's unsafe. Bloody nanny state. All right, here we go. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and it was 13 years in the past and you, your younger self, still had your current memories and experiences? I'd punch a few people in the face who I didn't. I should have done. I would. Basically, I would. There's all kinds. I think everyone's in this situation. I would go back and live those 13 years again, not making the same mistakes that I made.
I tell you what, I
There's
would
so
make
many.
my house off grid. I would, if I was fitter than I am now, I would literally, I would be like, yeah, off gridding myself.
It would probably be. What I would do is probably a bit. I wouldn't be a false martyr, and I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd still call my website Hospital Paws Against the New World Order. But I'd try to be a bit more discreet, I suppose, so I wouldn't set myself up.
really?
And, Would you rather be able to control fire? Oh, there's two questions here.
Oh God.
Would you be able to rather control fire or water?
I thought about
Probably,
this.
probably fire would be very useful. I think I could make it light at certain
Right, babe.
times.
Is it vibrating?
Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or read minds? Oh, teleport anywhere. I couldn't bear to read people's minds. Because,
Nah, I don't want to know what people
No.
are thinking about me.
Well, I know
God.
what I think, and I don't want people to know that. And if other people knew what I was thinking, they wouldn't either. Have whatever you're thinking to appear above your head for everyone to see, or have absolutely everything you do live stream for anyone to see. Oh
Truman Show.
my goodness me! That's a dilemma.
Yeah.
That's a real either or situation.
Oh, here comes food.
Probably the oh lovely. Well, we get dinner. Well, maybe we'll carry on afterwards. But
If I
the
don't-
answer.
Look at Ben. Look at that.
Oh my God!
I told you, didn't I?
Oh, that's quite something.
Look at that. I was going to have that, and I now.
Make sure those don't blow away, and I'll
Yes.
think about that.
That
Nice.
looks delightful.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh
Oh,
my
it looks
God!
lovely.
I've got garlic chips. Ready, go.
All right, I'm going to carry on with these little questions here. What are the three things you could buy at a grocery store to make the cashier give you weird looks? Don't know.
But they have to be like a combination of the.
Christ! Food is here. Lime green condoms. What is the most annoying colour? Oh, probably that. It's probably that horrible yellowy brown colour you see on some houses. It's like looks like
Baby shit.
diarrhea.
Yeah, baby shit. Baby
I
shit.
can't stand that colour.
Baby shit puce.
Yeah. Right, here we go. What's the biggest waste of human potential? Oh my goodness me. Everything in the Illuminati occupied society really is all the what was it David Icke said, running like crazy just to keep stand still. All those things are a waste. That's so yeah.
Hold on.
Well, now we have food.
Oh,
Oh, lovely.
I've got chocolateness.
And we've both got treacle tart.
Oh my.
Thank you very much.
God, that looks
Good God, am I
amazing.
going to be able to get through this? Oh man. I don't know if you want full crisping.
Ben, if you can't, I'm only here.
All right, I will. Okay, you may see something I found here. It's this box of pins. But, just have a look at the pins here. You know that song Mad Dogs and Englishmen? You might go out on a riverboat with your stripy jersey, stripy blazer and drinking this stuff. You know, what's it? Mad Dogs and Englishmen where midday sun and this Pimm's taste very strange. Oh, it's very foul and bitter. I feel ill now. Oh dear.
Hey, look at that funny little sod. Look at that funny little sod. And then look at that funny little sod. Oh, that's food.
This guy's got more hair than me. Also, people don't just drop money in my little bucket like they have here.
Right, ready?
Okay.
We had to move outside because we were underneath the speaker and it couldn't bloody hear nothing. Right, go, Ben.
So
go.
we're going to go on. We're going to actually go on one of these questions here, and this one is: what mythical creature would improve the world most if it existed?
Not dragon.
Must be loads. Not dragons, no. Well, dragons do exist anyway.
yeah.
The Queen is one of them. Well, if you read Richard Freeman's book, Dragon More Than a Myth, it does say that some dragons are real. Probably, maybe.
Don't say unicorn.
No, what's a unicorn? Maybe the griffin. Be nice because they fly around. They're pretty cool. They are. I think a griffin would be nice. Whether it would improve the world, it would improve the world because people would enjoy it. Yeah, people think it was fun. Okay. So these two attached together. Let's start with this one. All right. Sing Happy Birthday in a Brian Cox voice. I thought I already did.
Oh no, you've got all of them. You've got
Happy Birthday
you'd have to do the whole thing.
to you.
You knobbers.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear fucking nobbies. Happy birthday to you. Look at my shiny white teeth and my silky black hair. Alright, here we go. Right. What will you do if you meet an alien and they're completely woke and read the Garidian? Run like hell before they kidnap me for their re-education program. We come from planet Zeta Reticuli, man. There's no white male patriarchy there. Oh, here's a big one. Here's a big one. Would you rather have 30 butterflies instantly appear from nowhere every time you sneeze, or one very angry squirrel appear from nowhere every time you cough?
Just like a squirrel. We get them in the bloody garden every 5
Oh,
minutes
we've got
anyway.
angry squirrels all over.
Yeah, squirrels suddenly appear.
Miserable little bastards, you know.
Oh, here we go. Crocodile or large bear? Who would win a fight? Ooh, probably the bear. I like bears more than crocodiles, so probably I hope it will be the bear.
I don't like a crocodile.
I reckon it might be in terms of the environment. I mean, if they're in the water, obviously, crocodile's going to have
Oh, yeah,
the
it depends
advantage.
what
Bears,
environment.
well, both of them are actually very fierce.
A crocodile's quite fast, even out of the water. isn't it?
Yeah, and bears look. The thing is, bears look more cuddly and cute than crocodiles,
got
but they're
very
actually
long claws.
bears kill people. I mean,
He would literally do that to
What if it
me.
was a grizzly as well then?
That's what I meant, like a
Enormous
grizzly, but I
boar.
couldn't remember the name of it.
What old person things can you do? Oh, it's just two questions here.
Oh, God.
What old person things can you do? Oh, loads. Maybe it's because I'm becoming an old person. I don't know. I can sit for ages talking about shit. And, I can.
Definitely not got evidence of that.
I can spend. I don't think I'm becoming old, but I am quite. So I can sort of sit around with people and not just think, oh, this person's boring because they're not a bastard. That's old, isn't it? Yeah. Here's another one. What's a movie you can practically quote from start to finish? Oh, there are several. I mean, there's Gone to Seed. It's a TV series, but it's my favourite by far. I watch it so many times I just know it backwards. A Sleuth by there's Sleuth with the original one with.
I've still never seen that.
Laurence Olivier.
I need to make
that is very good. It's much better than the remake. I think I could probably quote that all the way through because I've seen it so many times.
Mine's Grease. What's
Tell
yours?
me more, tell me more.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I suppose Star Wars, really. Yeah.
As far as musicals go, I could probably sing all of Rocky Horror Show because my mum used to play. My mum loved the film and she had the soundtrack on, and she used to play it continuously when I was a little kid. What movie completely changes its plot when you change one letter in its title?
Now this takes a lot of thinking about.
Oh, what's the new movie? That is tricky, isn't it?
You change one letter in its title. So let's think of some.
I changed the word house to wanker, and you have the little wanker on the prairie.
One letter, not one
one
word.
well, right, one letter.
Little wanker on the prairie.
Tricky. That is. I can't think of one.
Let's come up with one.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
I'd have to think about it. There's probably Facebook groups which collect these sorts of things. You could probably, if you ask it, if you ask a question on Facebook, I know you're not
There'll
on
be
Facebook.
loads of it.
There'll be loads of people give answers.
Go on, Mark. Oh, Mark, thanks. What's going on with you?
You thought of one?
Bear in mind what we're going through now. Star Wars. SARS.
SARS Wars.
SARS. See, is the, for the
Why are you
the
whispering?
virus. SARS.
Be loud and proud.
Star Wars. Think about it.
So, oh no. We thought he had one.
What scene from a movie scarred you for life? You'd be surprised, actually. You're very surprised. It's actually a children's film. There was a bear, this very mean-looking bear in this movie, and he had like a big stone on his head. He carried like a big rock on his head, and it scared the fucking shit out of him.
Why did he have a stone on his head?
I can't remember. It was like it's a kiddies film, and so it's not what you'd expect. You know, it wasn't. I didn't actually sneak one of my parents' VHSs and watch a horror movie.
Good.
No, it was literally a children's film, but it absolutely really disturbed me. I found it very disturbing.
He had a stone on his head.
Yeah, he had a big stone on top, and it scared the living
You'd have
crap out
to
of
try
me.
and figure out what that was.
What are you proud of, but never had an excuse to talk about? Well, being a hospital porter, obviously.
You've always
Oh no,
talked
sorry, I
about
have
that.
talked about that. I had mentioned that a couple of times.
I think we're aware.
Possibly, I think maybe just my daughter. I mean, being a dad to my daughter. I mean, I don't talk about it much because it's sort of like part of my personal life, but it's the thing I'm probably most proud of is being a dad to her. I think I've been a good dad to her. She's now like 26 and we're really close. What songs are on your zombie killing soundtrack? Oh, the theme music to Dawn of the Dead, and of course, and also the theme music to Resident Evil.
Oh,
Definitely.
I was going with ABBA.
What? I can't shoot. Flesh-eating undead while singing. Yeah, while listening to Dancing Queen, honestly, on my earphones. In 40 years, what do you think you'll be most nostalgic about? Well, I don't want to
breathing.
Say, I don't want to say exactly. Yeah, breathing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say exactly, but it's. I've got a more even chance of not being alive in 40 years because I might be. I mean, it depends how old I get. I won't know till I get there, but I know what am I most nostalgic about 40 years from 40 years ago?
Yeah. So what are you most nostalgic about now?
Well, I'll let you
There's
into a
a giant
secret.
spider on
I'll let
there.
you into a secret. Oh yeah.
Oh my Christ!
Yeah. I was alive 40 years ago. I'll let you into that secret.
Oh my God! Is that
I am
one of
over
those
that age.
Is that one of those spiders that will like have you?
No, you won't have anything.
It's just sort of like sitting there. I don't think it's going to do any harm.
No.
Do you want to swap places then?
All right.
It's quite fast.
No, they move faster.
Don't, Ben. If you get that anywhere near me, I'm going to kill you.
Go on. There you go. It's gone. Look at that.
Okay, good.
Are you
What a hero.
arachnophobic?
Yes.
If I were to summon you via black magic,
It's a
which
good
5 items would I need to on the corners of the pentagram? Oh right.
This is a good one.
A hospital porter's gas spanner. Probably a copy of Robert Anton Wilson's The Illuminatus trilogy on one. On the southeast, probably one of the Tintin books. I used to love those when I was a kid. On the southwest, I think probably a flying saucer, like a little mini flying saucer toy. Then on the west would be
A baseball cap.
yeah. That'll do. Yeah, that'll do. You'll probably get me if you. Yeah, you certainly get me if you use those things on it, right? How much would you pay to own your own pair of Stephen Greer's old jeans? Oh my goodness, mate! Oh,
Priceless.
I probably. Well, it'd be very easy to fit into them anyway. I mean, that's the one thing. I mean, if Greer can fit his tackle into those jeans, I can fit mine. Probably. I don't know.
£5.50.
Yeah, something like £5 or something like that. I mean, they're all sort of super tight and full of holes anyway, so they're not that good. Would you rather give up bathing for a month or give up the internet for a month? Oh, bathing. Goodness me. Bathing. I'll live a scruffy, dirty bastard for a month, which I'm not now, of course. Oh yeah, definitely bathing. Oh yeah. Here we go. Right. Sing Happy Birthday in a Stephen Greer voice.
I never got bored with those. I nearly did Miles and then I was in the mood.
I didn't do Miles.
No, I didn't ask for Miles in the end because he was winding me up.
Hold that for us.
He was winding me up at the time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear modest country doctor from North Carolina. Happy birthday to you. I think that's close enough.
Legendary. Legendary.
All right.
You're a legend.
I'm going to get through all of these. I swear I'll get through them.
blimey.
Yeah, no,
You
you
have time to get through them
bloody
all.
do it,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the next one.
I've got content for my video for the next 17 years.
What's a question you'd like to answer but no one asks?
Oh.
Well, how? No, because people do ask me that. I don't think there's any question that nobody asks. There's questions that my family now ask. You know, like as I said in one of my recent videos, one of my sad videos. You know, a lot of my extended family, they never ask me for my opinion. They never ask me how I am. They never ask me anything about, you know. So I suppose I like them to do that. I like to, because as you know, my extended family suffered a serious tragedy a few months ago, which I made a video about, and I really didn't want to get involved with it because I just felt I had nothing in common with them. Okay. Oh, you've done this one.
About, not again.
What would you rather play every musical instrument or speak every
throw it in the bin.
Language?
There must have been a page that I printed out twice.
Oh God.
It's all right. That's okay. Well, if there's any repeating ones, not a problem. What is something that everyone looks stupid doing? Sitting on the toilet. Everybody, you know, no one can sit on the toilet in style. You know, this is why unfortunately I think Elvis Presley is dead. I mean, it was one conspiracy theory I don't believe in, because he died sitting on the bog. No one wants to be remembered dying sitting on the bog. When they found his body, he was just lying on the floor with his trousers around his ankle.
That's not what you want.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Probably sort of like peanut. It's got to be peanut something.
These are the
It's not
cutting
really
edge
butter, is it?
questions that everybody needs answers to.
Peanut spread, I suppose you'd call it. I mean, it's not butter. I don't know why they call it butter. It's not butter.
It's not butter.
It's peanut, but it's not butter. Is it possible to live a normal life and not ever tell a lie? I think lies of discretion are unavoidable. Lies of deception, you can avoid lies of deception, but lies of discretion are unavoidable. Because if you couldn't live a normal life, because you just walk. It'd be like that film Liar Liar. You just walk down the film you walk down the film and saying, "Nice tits, darling." Or,
Oh God.
Or you walk past, "God, you're an ugly bastard," and things like that. You know, you'd be insulting people walking down the street.
Hold on, I've heard this before, but the thing is, why? You know, at the moment when we don't have that ability, we don't say every single thought that comes into our head. So, you know, we wouldn't have to just have Tourette's all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
A lie of discretion and a lie of deception. I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, what you mean is maybe if someone says, "Oh, do I look nice today?" and you think that would hurt their feelings or something like that, you just say, "Oh yeah, you look lovely."
That's an example of a.
Obviously, it's not anything I do to my wife. Obviously, I only tell the truth because she always looks lovely.
Oh, shut your face.
Yeah, that's a good example of like just saying like that's a live. I suppose that's a live kindness. You know, you just hold back an unpleasant.
It would be
opinion to
difficult
people.
in this day and age,
the
though.
person who's saying it.
Because your recent video with Steve, maybe you would have had to have challenged him.
Well, you know, I can be honest with Steve, definitely. With Steve Bassett.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good example, actually. As you know, I did a video with Steve Bassett. We talked about the UFO subject. He brought up another subject over which I have a very different view from him.
Yeah.
But I knew if I talked about it, honestly, it would completely derail
V word.
The V word. It would completely derail the entire conversation. So I just kept my mouth shut.
Yeah. But in our world where you couldn't lie, that would have been a very interesting.
There's also there's also this issue with the Basis Project where somebody said something that upset me, as you know from my latest video, Women in Ufology. I don't think I did lie, because that video essentially is me telling her the truth. So that was a delayed truth.
Yeah.
But lies of discretion, I think, are unavoidable. You know, just for the sake of privacy. There's certain situations where I've I suppose what I told my family over the V word, because they all took the V word and I didn't. I told them I'd had it. And that's a kind of a lie of deception, I know. But the problem is, I think it's justified, because I know from experience that they would want an explanation. Why haven't you had it? And I'd explain, and everything I'd say would go straight in at one ear and straight out the other.
It'd be a complete waste of time.
Yeah. So I just lied to them.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think 10-year-old you would tell you right now? Am I really going to get that fat?
Put the cake down.
I know. You've asked me. I'd like to. Maybe you're asking me the opposite. What would I say to my 10-year-old self? You probably put that one in here. I'll just check. Would you rather be completely insane and know that you're insane, or completely insane and believe that you're sane? Well, some people claim I am the latter already. Definitely the former. I mean, it's Confucius. You know, it's Confucius. You know, a wise man is a fool who knows that he's a fool. So I'm definitely the former. What is the most useless word? Most useless word.
It's one of those like fillers when people try and
probably
fill
you know
pauses.
or man. It's when people keep saying man after everything they say man. You know, you get these posers, these hipsters, and they go, yeah, man. I used to do this, man. And it makes me so superior, man. That's probably the most useless. I wish they wouldn't do that. It's annoying. I know not everyone. It doesn't exist in every dialect, but it's annoying. Right? If you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes or anything else, how would you prove that you were from the future? I probably wouldn't be able to, because I'd tell people where I came from, and I'd say, look, I'm from the future, and I'd describe it, and I couldn't describe it accurately in a way that people could actually understand in those days, because the world is so different now to what it was then.
I wonder, just like predicting something that's, you know, maybe you know about a war or something.
I could do, but after 400 years, I mean, if I could, what I could do is, if I knew history, I could predict something was going to happen very soon in that particular time period, and be right.
They'd think you were some kind of like
Witch. You'd be burnt.
well, witch. You'd be burnt at the stake. Yeah.
Would you rather have Stephen Greer's crotch or Brian Cox's hair? Definitely Greer's crotch. Definitely Brian Cox's hair is horrible, effeminate,
Overrated.
It's overrated,
Greasy,
very effeminate.
Talking about
greasy,
Brian Cox's
slimy,
hair.
silty thing. Describe black goo in 3 words.
3 words.
Sentient.
I knew you were going to say
mysterious oil.
That's really good.
What was Mark said? Sentient, mysterious oil.
Do we have to quote him?
You're right.
It's not in my good books.
What does your perfect day look like? It's similar to the question you asked earlier.
Yeah.
It's probably just simply hanging out with guys like you,
Yeah.
and then like
And me.
at a conference, going to see like maybe one of the David Icke live shows I went to, which was so good.
We got to, what we got to do is make sure we have more of these. More of these.
It's just little moments
Yeah.
like that, you know. Do you and Steve Mumbling have secret Zoom?
Oh,
meetings?
yeah.
Oh, I've asked that
Oh,
one.
that's from the old.
I don't, like I said before. Mumbling is shying away from contacting me.
I wonder
After
what
all the bravado, he's now cucking completely.
I wonder what the real reason is. Steve, if you're watching this, which you won't
Yeah,
be.
come on, Steve. Let's have you.
What's the real reason?
You know what? I left it. I've told you my email 3 times. Contact me. We'll set up a.
It'd be brilliant. We all want to see this.
What kind of cult would you like to start? Oh, probably something that's secretly good. Like, you know, it'd be like one of these reverse psychology things, you know, where people join the think against the New World Order. I'll pretend I'm some sort of guru, but I'm really against the New World Order.
Let's do it.
There's actually a book by Arthur C. Clarke where that happened. It's really good. It's, Isaac Asimov.
I bought a book. I gave it to Caleb. I never read it in the end. And this bloke did actually start a cult. I think it was an accident. He did it on the internet. And he did actually. With no other information, that's probably one of the most boring things I've ever said.
Would you punch a sentient robot in the face?
I would.
Well, if it was one of those Boston Dynamic ones and came in with some kind of gun like the Ed 209 in RoboCop, yeah, I'd punch it before it shot the hell out
but
of
what
me.
if it was like a cute little girl that was offering you cookies, but
Well,
you
I
knew
know
it was
wasn't
a
real.
Yeah. So
I know it
would you
wasn't
have
real.
any problem punching it in the face?
No, I mean, it would, I wouldn't. As long as I knew what it was, you know.
Future dilemmas I think we're going to face. Will you punch a robot Girl Scout in the face?
What superhero or villain would make the best therapist? Oh, man. Probably Spider-Man, actually, because he's got the most interesting background. Because he's literally like, he is literally human, but he's just got these strange things.
I was thinking
he had a
of...
completely normal human background. He sort of like, he didn't come from Krypton or anything.
No.
Superman. He's just a normal guy. Yeah. Would you rather have a golden voice or a silver tongue? Well, seeing as I've already got the latter, it's sort of academic, really, isn't it? What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Play this
bloody
game here.
hell.
Play this game here.
I asked this girl called Tracy out on a date
When?
when I was like, when I was 15. Oh god, that was embarrassing.
What did she say?
No, piss
Oh.
off. Shit. That was bloody embarrassing.
Tracy, you're regretting it now, aren't you?
Yeah, Tracy,
Yeah,
if you're
Tracy,
watching.
you
Look
wanker.
what I've become, yeah. If someone was filming your life up to this point, what would be on the soundtrack? I think you'd have to compose something entirely new. I
And
was
who would
tempted to say
compose it?
KLF. I'm tempted to say KLF.
Who would
really
compose
work.
it though, Ben?
Probably Philip Glass could do quite a good job. Or Enigma, something like that. What's something you've done that you would try to dissuade anyone else from doing? Oh my God, where shall I start? If you're a porter, doing delivery suite, if you're a porter, now don't volunteer for that. It's a very unpopular duty, and I did it for 9 years, and I worked out why. Yeah, don't do that. If you're a new hospital porter, that's one thing not to do.
What is it?
It's
where
the babies are born. Yeah.
Why not?
It's a long story, but it's a horrible culture in there. It's really awful.
God.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's home? Well, that would have to be Menna from the High Wycombe Paranormal Group. Everything in her home is weird. So if you watch Neil Geddes Ward's videos, he's actually filmed in her house. It is a museum for everything that's strange and bizarre.
That sounds cool.
It's got. You should see it.
Sounds really cool. I love Neil Geddes Ward. He's lovely.
He's good, isn't he?
He's lovely.
Would you? I must say, let me just say, I stayed with a lady when I went to Truth Seekers North East once. I actually went when I wasn't speaking, and I stayed at this lady's house. She had a cupboard, like a big, like full-size cupboard in the guest room where I was staying. Inside it was a chair.
Inside the cupboard.
And I thought, what's that for? Does she tie people to it?
It's terrifying.
I know, that's very weird. It was one of those just a small upright chair with no arms. I call them porters' beds.
That's terrifying.
Because hospital porters sleep. This is how hospital porters sleep traditionally. You get like one of these big, just upright chairs with like it was in the pub just now, just without any arms and just bare wooden chairs, and they sleep like this on one of those.
I could not do
That's
that.
the traditional way hospital porters sleep. So I call those sort of chairs porters' beds.
In a cupboard.
Would you rather have everything you draw become real, but be permanently terrible at drawing, or be able to fly, but only as fast as you can walk?
That'd be so rubbish, wouldn't it? That'd be so
yeah,
rubbish.
definitely the latter.
You could fly really slowly. What's the
I don't mind. I don't
Like
mind
in a
flying
hot air balloon,
slowly.
you can still.
That'd be quite nice, actually.
I don't mind flying slowly. It's not flying would be fun though, even if
It'd be better on your
I
knees.
do it slowly.
Be better
Yeah.
on your knees. I really want to do that now. Let's go and get me some hot air balloons.
I've got two here. No, I'll just do this one first. I think I'm going to finish these.
I think you are. You're doing well.
What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence? Probably this horrible statue they've got down in Devon, which.
Oh, Verity.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Verity.
That's by the seaside. There's a little 3-year-old girl who lives there, and she's terrified. She calls it the scary baby lady. It's just ruined that whole seafront. I get rid of that. I get rid of that big pyramid outside the Louvre Museum with 666 tiles.
Is that how many tiles it's got?
Yeah, and that weird 666 panes of glass.
Well,
just a coincidence, nothing to worry about. As David likes to say. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done? Oh, well, if my mum were alive, probably anything, crimes against humanity. Seeing as my mum's dead, it will probably be something minor. My dad and brother would probably think I'd done something minor. They're quite. I think they're fond of me. But my mum hated me. If there were no consequences for a day, what would you do? Oh, it's like that. It's like that movie. What was it called? What? With no consequences? Oh my goodness me.
Oh, I would truth bomb everybody.
Yeah, I would.
I would go round. I'd be spray painting.
I'd probably do that.
Spray painting the palace, and
I would probably do something like that. Yeah,
I'd recruit everybody so that the next day, everything would be covered in our.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is, I'd be like Brian, Romana Eunt Domus. No, it's not. It's Romana Ite Doma, maybe something like that. I'd draw.
Yeah.
It's like I'd tell a few people. Well, there's a few people I don't like. I'd tell them to get fucked. Sing Happy Birthday in a Garidian voice.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Birthday's a bourgeois man. Part of the white male patriarchy. Do I have to? Happy birthday to you. Oh, whatever your pronoun is.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to whatever your
Probably
pronoun is.
wouldn't even be birthday, would it?
Happy birthday, non-binary, cisgendered, heteronormative, whatever you are. Happy birthday to whatever your pronoun is.
Very good.
All right, here we go. Oh, I've got two again. I'll do this one first. What's your favourite conspiracy? There is one I particularly like, and it's because we conspiracy theorists, we do a lot of dark stuff. Some of it's really quite traumatic. There is one conspiracy theory which is actually, I hope it's true, because it's actually very heartwarming. The tallest mountain in the world is Mount Everest.
Oh yeah,
I've told this before.
I know this one.
But the people there were two climbers actually got to the top first. They were called Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Now, what happened was the original plan for the expedition was for Hillary to be the first one to step onto the summit, but no one told him or Tenzing. But when he got back to the base camp, the expedition manager got Tenzing to sign a document. Just said it's just administrative stuff. Tenzing was from the Sherpa culture. He was a local man. He could speak English, but he couldn't read it, and he didn't know what he was signing. What he signed was a document which said, "I Tenzing Norgay, saw Edmund Hillary, climb ahead of me onto the summit of Mount Everest, and then I came up second." Now, they thought they had it now, because then they went up to Hillary and they said, "Look, we fixed it. Don't worry, you're going to be the first, no one else. But all you got to do is play along with us. Sign the same document, and we'll play along with this." But he refused. Hillary said he was furious. He said, "No way." And that I think is very sweet. It's very very heartwarming story, and I hope that's true. Will Brian Cox's hair ever become sentient? Oh, God forbid us if it ever does, man. It'll probably spread all over the world. Ugh. It's probably got too much estrogen in it, actually, to go very far. But you never know.
I reckon his hair's black goo.
It looks like you've got it, doesn't it? If animals could talk, which would be the rudest? Oh, probably some sort of monkey.
Oh yeah,
capuchin
monkey.
There's
so
some that
funny.
are already quite rude and they can't even speak.
They
Some
throw
dogs
poo
would
at
be
you.
very rude.
Throw poo at you.
There's some pretty horrible dogs, that are pretty rude.
I'm telling you, squirrels are insane.
But there's that great hospital porter, Ludwig Wittgenstein, an occasional part-time philosopher, said, if a lion could speak, we still could not understand him. Would you rather fight one cow-sized duck or 50 duck-sized cows?
You can see the cogs. You can see the cogs move. You're imagining a giant, little tiny cows or giant duck.
I could probably cope with the little cows better than the big duck.
50 tiny little cows.
They wouldn't have big beaks. They just have tiny little horns, not that one big beak, to peck me. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm going to get through this.
I think that question is the one that you've put the most thought into.
If you were wrongfully put into an insane asylum, how would you convince them you're perfectly sane and not just pretending to be sane? I'd watched EastEnders every night, and I'd make it the sole. I would make it the sole source of my conversation with everyone. They let me out in no time. All right. What's the most important goal every person should have? Be the best, but it sounds like some kind of fridge magnet thing. But just be the best that you can be of yourself. Everyone's born. Everyone has accidents of birth, which you have no control over who you are, of what you are. But you and you alone decide who you are. You can just be the best. Be the best who from the best what from whatever what you are. That sounds like a real. Greetings card thing.
I'm going to put it on a tea towel.
Oh, what songs? Oh, there's the zombie killing soundtrack.
See, there's a whole page.
There
is literally a whole page.
It wouldn't be ABBA's Dancing Queen. I couldn't shoot zombies with that playing in my earphones.
Hilarious.
It'd be. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? Depends how many he eats.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah.
Like it.
How would humanity change if all humans' life expectancy was significantly increased, let's say to about 500 years? There's a science fiction story about John Wyndham wrote a book called The Trouble of Lichen, which is about that. Well, he believed that in this story, humans' life expectancy would increase to about 200 years. There's actually a book by Kim Stanley Robinson, the Mars trilogy. It's a trilogy of books where that actually happens. Probably you'd go nuts. I mean, you'd certainly lose memory from your early life, and indeed the characters in this book do that. They lose they all live into their 3rd or 4th centuries, but they lose the memories of the past. A lot of them remember their early childhoods, but the middle bit in between they completely forget. I think you'd have to do that to prevent yourself going insane. What would be the coolest animal to scale up to the size of a horse? Probably...
Don't say spider.
The problem is I was going to say a cat, because if you scale the cat up to the size of a horse, it would become deadly. Well, indeed, some cats are, like lions and tigers. No, what it was not? Don't say what?
Who is it? Don't say spiders.
I won't say spiders. Don't worry. I won't say spiders. They're not. Shellhop is not. I wouldn't want shellhop.
I heard that if an ant was scaled up to the size of a man, it would be like the most terrifying, because it could jump. Imagine how you crawl. Or is it a flea?
A flea. I think of something.
But an ant would be the strongest. Also, it'd be so strong because, like, an ant can carry a giant leaf or something.
They're very strong.
Yeah.
The good news is you couldn't actually scale these insects up to, or these arachnids up to that size, because they need lungs to live, and they don't have lungs. So they literally couldn't survive at that size. The biggest spider is actually not that very big. It's about that big.
So what was your answer then?
My answer would probably be something cute. A duckling or something. Of course, it becomes a big duck.
Would it be into the cow-sized duck then? Wouldn't it?
Yeah, they'll have to fight it. Yeah, then I'd have to fight it.
I think the flea one is like they could, comparably, they jump over the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
What's one book that changed your life? The Biggest Secret by David Icke. I know that's a bit of a pat one, but it really does have.
Mine was 1984.
But also, that's a good one. But also, I'll tell you what another one is: The Dark Moon, Apollo and the Whistleblowers by David Percy and Mary Bennett. That was very good. That really got me on the conspiratorial bandwagon. It really did. In one sentence, how would you sum up the internet? It's given me a social life, basically, when otherwise I wouldn't have one. I'd be like on a desert island. I'd be very, very lonely without the internet. Yeah. What's the most important file on your computer? It's probably the ones with all my stuff to do with my writing. That's absolutely... But obviously, needless to say, I backed it up considerably. It's the stuff to do with my writing, my fiction writing. Where I've written it's a folder where I wrote all my old books, and I'm writing a new one right now. If you could replace all the grass in the world with something else, what would it be and why? Probably grapes.
Grapes?
Because I like them.
Grapes? Yeah, but when everybody stood on them, you've got loads and loads of wine.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think mine would be like duvets, so you could just like have a little sleep, wherever you went.
Cats or dogs? I mean, if you had to, which one would you eat? Oh, you're cruel. What's that? You're really sadistic.
So it's like, cats or dogs? Most people, that's usually where the question ends. But no, I mean, which one would you eat?
If I had to, I think I'd have to be very hungry to the point where I wouldn't really care. I don't know. I'd hate to. The thing is, like, it's just we're funny like we're humans.
Yeah, I know.
We mostly all these animals are edible, but we just only eat certain ones because of cultural reasons. I mean, like, for example, in some cultures they do eat cats and dogs. I mean, in France they eat horses, and we don't eat horses here. Or if there were we've done that, no consequences for death.
Oh, we're nearly there, look.
Yeah,
and that was a big bag. That was quite a terrifying bag of questions.
Oh, this is the pentagram one.
Oh,
yeah. That's another double.
These might all be doublers.
Slashing through it.
These might be your doublers.
We'll see if these are ones that have been done before. We'll see, won't we? What movie would be greatly improved if it were made into a musical?
Jaws.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? I mean, I love the Simpsons episode where they make the Planet of the Apes.
I was thinking of that
into a musical.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
they make
really?
It's fictional. They make a Planet of the Apes into a musical.
Oh, we're gonna have to see that.
That's probably true actually, because Planet of the Apes is rubbish.
That would be fun.
It's a load of rubbish.
Hold on.
I know.
The only rubbish one is the one with Helena Bonham and Mum in it.
Oh, the sequels are even worse. I mean, the sequels are terrible.
They're brilliant films.
No, the remake is appalling.
The remake of the first Planet of the Apes was the Helen Bonham Carter one.
Oh no! But the rest of them. Have you seen the ones after that?
No, I gave up.
No, they're really good films.
Oh my God!
They're nothing
Ben.
like the others.
You trust us. How much do you trust us, Ben?
All right, I'll try. All
right, not the Helena Bonham.
No.
The other ones are amazing. Amazing.
All right, I'll try watching
You
those.
promise,
really good.
Ben? I've got you on video.
Really good trilogy.
We need a date to when you've done it.
All right, watch party coming up, guys. What's your favourite smell? I've done that one. Like I said,
is
it's
that the
probably,
last one?
No, it's one more. The favourite smell, like I said, is probably coffee. When it's like when you're grinding it up and roasting it, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Roasting coffee is probably my favourite smell.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one ever. Right, what's it going to be?
Hopefully it's not a doubler.
Big flappy hands or tiny Barbie feet? Oh my goodness me. Are those movies or kids programs?
So do you want little tiny feet or big flappy hands? I mean, we're talking big.
Oh,
as
probably
big as
big
the
flappy hands.
As big as a pub, though.
You know, I see little tiny feet wouldn't do me. I wouldn't be able to walk. So definitely a big flappy hand.
Well,
but
I'm so glad that was the last question. That was probably the most philosophical.
I've done it. Success.
Right, now Smart's time to answer them all.
Oh,
Jokes.
What he said.
Right, I'm still videoing. Well, shall I stop videoing now? Thanks,
thanks
Ben.
very much, yeah.
We've had an absolutely fantastic weekend with Ben, and we've mainly eaten.
Yeah.
We've eaten everything that Oxford's had to offer, to be
All the
honest.
best things, anyway.
So we'll come and see you again soon, Ben, because it's been lush.
Lovely.